I like that phrase. And yeah, and I always have to explain to people like when they hear, "Oh, you're an introvert, so you don't like people." No, 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 no. I love
Not
people.
true.
I just need to recharge by myself, and that's like a difference. So like my mother was an extrovert. She would make friends on planes and trains, in lines, at Starbucks, like whatever. She would make new friends everywhere she went, and she would get energy from interacting with people. I would love to meet new people, especially if they were interesting. I would just need to go like watch TV or read a book or go for a walk by myself afterward, but I loved meeting people.
Okay, you said the word interesting. So there's one saying that for it applies to everybody, but introverts, take note here. In order to be interesting, you have to be interested. And
Mm.
if you're interested, the extroverts will introduce you to other people because you're
Oh,
listening,
yeah,
you're engaging, you're asking questions. And if someone else comes up, an extrovert loves to connect people. So they will connect you with whoever comes up to them next.
yeah,
And that, again, as I've talked about many times, during our time together today, it's that confidence building. And that's yet another thing of confidence that this charismatic person thinks enough of me that
yeah,
they're going to introduce me to this other person. And, it's all those little things that you really do, when you go to those enough, and there are people here, I'm sure, that are listening that have gone to the same conference 5 or 6 or 7 times. Imagine that you went up and you were listening to that charismatic person and you got introduced to 2 or 3 different people
mhm,
in 10 minutes. And that's happened to me many times over the years.
yeah.
And it allows kind of your night, your evening, and it makes the time, most importantly, especially if you're an introvert, it makes the time go a lot faster.
Yes. So, if you get into that conversation where, like, they're talking and it's interesting and you got, like, an engaging one, how do you, like, tilt the conversation with, like, almost one question or comment to, you are there to gather intelligence. You are there to do some business together or see if it would make sense to do business together. How do you kind of go from, what brought you here tonight all the way to being interested and nodding and being engaged with that extroverted person to like tilting the conversation to like, tell me about this part.
So usually, like I said, people like to volunteer a lot about themselves.
Okay.
So what I did initially, and I still do it more often than I care to admit today, is someone will talk for 5 minutes. I'll remember the first thing that I really wanted to ask a question about 3, 4, 5 minutes ago that they talked about in their response.